Jason Miller loved the stars. Every clear night, the 10-year-old boy would drag his telescope to the backyard of his small Ohio home. This night was special. The sky was darker than usual, and the stars seemed brighter. "Mom, I'll be back before 9. Jason called through the screen door. "Don't go past the old oak tree," his mother Lisa answered from the kitchen where she washed dishes. Jason set up his telescope on the flat patch of grass. He pointed it toward the night sky, excited to see the meteor shower predicted for tonight. His dad had helped him download a star chart app on his tablet. Jason checked it and adjusted his telescope. As he looked through the eyepiece, something strange happened. A light appeared in the sky, too bright and too fast to be a shooting star. It grew larger, and a soft humming sound filled the air. Jason stepped back from his telescope. The light was directly above him now. It wasn't a light anymore, but a large, dark shape blocking the stars. The humming grew louder. Jason wanted to run, but his legs wouldn't move. A beam of blue light shot down from the object and surrounded him. Jason felt his feet leave the ground. He tried to scream, but no sound came out. The world around him faded away. When Jason opened his eyes, he wasn't in his backyard anymore. He lay on a cold metal surface in a small room with glowing walls. The air smelled strange, like cleaning products, but different. Jason sat up slowly. His head hurt. The room was about the size of his bedroom at home, but everything was made of smooth metal. One wall was clear, like glass. Through it, Jason could see a corridor made of the same metal as his room. "Hello," Jason called. His voice sounded weird in this space. No one answered. He walked to the clear wall and pressed his hands against it. It felt warm and vibrated slightly. Jason tried pushing, but it didn't move. Suddenly, figures appeared in the corridor. Jason gasped and stepped back. They weren't human. They were tall and thin with gray-blue skin. Their heads were too large for their bodies, and they had huge dark eyes. They wore silvery suits that seemed to glow faintly. One of the creatures approached the clear wall. It held up a device that made soft beeping sounds. The creature's mouth didn't move, but Jason heard a voice in his head. "Specimen appears to be in adequate condition. Approximately 8.3 cycles in development. Primitive brain structure, but shows signs of basic intelligence." Jason's fear turned to anger. "Hey, I can hear you. I'm not a specimen." The creatures looked at each other. Their large eyes blinked slowly. "Subject demonstrates communication abilities." The voice in Jason's head said, "Unusual for a species from Proxima Centauri V." "I'm from Earth," Jason shouted, pounding on the clear wall. "Earth, the third planet from the sun." The creatures didn't react to his outburst. They continued scanning him with their devices. "Chief Researcher Xor will be pleased," one of them said in Jason's mind. This collection mission was successful. Prepare for jump to the next system. They turned and walked away, leaving Jason alone. "Wait, come back," he called, but they were gone. Jason slid down against the wall until he sat on the floor. Tears filled his eyes. He was on a spaceship. He had been taken by aliens. His parents wouldn't know what happened to him. As his tears fell, Jason noticed something. On the wall opposite him were small containers. Inside each one was a different creature. None looked like anything he had seen before. Some had multiple limbs, others had scales or fur. All were small, about his size. Jason realized the truth. These aliens were collecting creatures from different planets, and now he was part of their collection. In the control room of the ship, Chief Researcher Xor reviewed the data from their newest specimen. "Interesting," Xor said to his assistant. "This one's brain activity is much higher than expected from a Proxima Centauri species. Should we run more tests?" the assistant asked. "Yes," Xor replied. "There's something different about this one." Neither of them knew they had made a terrible mistake. They had no idea that the small, seemingly harmless creature they had captured was from a planet called Earth, a world that their oldest records warned them never to approach. Jason woke up to a soft beeping sound. He had fallen asleep against the clear wall of his cell. His neck hurt, and for a moment he thought he was in his bedroom. Then he saw the glowing walls and remembered everything. The aliens had left him alone for what felt like hours. Jason had tried everything to escape. He had pushed on every part of the walls. He had yelled until his throat hurt. Nothing worked. Now he noticed something he hadn't seen before. Near the floor, there was a small panel that glowed differently than the rest of the wall. Jason crawled over to it and touched it. To his surprise, it moved slightly. Maybe, Jason whispered to himself. He pressed the panel harder, and it slid open. It was small, just big enough for his hand. Inside, he saw colored wires and small blinking lights. Jason had built model robots with his dad. He knew a little about wires and circuits. He touched one of the wires carefully. Nothing happened. He tried connecting two of them. Suddenly, the clear wall made a soft hissing sound and opened a few inches. Jason couldn't believe it. He pushed the opening with all his strength, making it just wide enough for him to squeeze through. He was out. The corridor was empty. The lights were dimmer than before. Jason guessed it might be nighttime for the aliens. He had to find a way to contact Earth, or at least learn more about where he was. Jason moved quietly down the corridor. He passed other cells like his. Inside each one, strange creatures slept or moved around. None of them looked like they were from Earth. At the end of the corridor, a door slid open automatically. Jason froze, afraid an alien would appear. When nothing happened, he peeked inside. It was a large room filled with screens and control panels. No one was there. Jason stepped inside and looked at the screens. They showed star maps and strange symbols he couldn't read. One screen showed an image of Earth. Jason's heart beat faster. He touched the screen, hoping it might help him somehow. "What are you doing here, small one?" a voice said in his head. Jason spun around. An alien stood in the doorway. This one was smaller than the others, with lighter skin. Its large eyes watched him with what seemed like curiosity rather than anger. I want to go home," Jason said, trying to sound brave. The alien tilted its head. "How did you exit your containment unit?" "I figured it out," Jason said. "Please, I need to get back to Earth. My parents will be worried." "Earth?" The alien stepped closer. "The Forbidden World." "That is not possible. You are from Proxima Centauri b." "No, I'm from Earth, the third planet from the Sun in the Sol system." The alien's eyes widened. It pulled out a small device and scanned Jason. Then it looked at the results with what seemed like shock. "This cannot be correct," it said. "You are human." Jason nodded. "My name is Jason Miller. I'm 10 years old. I live in Ohio." The alien put away its device. "I am Velka, junior scientist of the Zarthian research vessel. This is most troubling. Our ship's navigational system must have malfunctioned. Will you help me get home?" Jason asked. Velka's large eyes blinked several times. "It is not simple. Earth is special. Our ancient texts warn us never to interfere with it." "Why?" Jason asked. "The texts say Earth beings possess something dangerous, something unpredictable." Before Velka could explain more, an alarm sounded. Red lights flashed in the corridor. "The containment breach has been detected," Velka said. "You must return to your unit before." The door slid open. Chief Researcher Xor Thol stood there, looking from Jason to Velka with obvious anger. "What is this?" Xor Thol demanded. "Why is the specimen out of containment?" "There has been a misunderstanding," Velka said quickly. "This being is not from Proxima Centauri. It claims to be from Earth." Thol froze. "Earth? Impossible." He pulled out his own scanner and pointed it at Jason. When he saw the results, his gray-blue skin seemed to pale. "Alert the High Command," Thol ordered. "We have made a grave error." As two more aliens appeared and took Jason back to his cell, he heard Xorthul say something that made him even more afraid. Run all possible tests on the human. There is something about this child that our sensors never detected before. Jason sat on the cold floor of his cell. The aliens had made it smaller after his escape attempt. Now he could barely stretch his legs. They had also taken his shoes and jacket, leaving him in just his jeans and t-shirt. Outside the clear wall, aliens came and went. They pointed devices at him and talked among themselves. Jason couldn't hear their thoughts anymore. They had done something to block the connection. After what seemed like forever, the wall opened. Two tall aliens entered and picked Jason up by his arms. They carried him down a long corridor to a large room filled with strange machines. In the center of the room was a metal table. The aliens placed Jason on it. Straps automatically wrapped around his wrists and ankles. "Let me go," Jason yelled, pulling against the straps. They didn't budge. Chief Researcher Xorthul entered the room with Velka behind him. Xorthul held up a device, and suddenly Jason could hear their thoughts again. "Begin the tests," Xorthul ordered. "We must understand how we failed to identify an Earth specimen." Velka stepped forward. "The subject is showing signs of distress. Perhaps we should." "Your concern is noted, junior scientist," Xorthul interrupted. "But this is now a matter of Zarthian security. Earth beings are unpredictable." A machine lowered from the ceiling. It had many arms with different tools attached to them. Jason closed his eyes, terrified of what might happen next. To his surprise, the machine didn't hurt him. It scanned his body with lights and made soft humming sounds. One arm took a small sample of his hair. Another pricked his finger for a drop of blood. "Remarkable," one of the aliens said. "The brain patterns are unlike anything in our database. The physical structure is similar to our own, yet different in key ways," another added. Xorthul studied a screen showing Jason's test results. "The adaptability factor is off the charts. And look at these problem-solving indicators." He turned to Velka. "The specimen escaped containment by rewiring our security system." Velka nodded. "It demonstrated understanding of our basic technology with no prior exposure." "Impossible," Xorthul said. "Unless." He looked at Jason with new interest. "Can you understand our language, Earthchild?" Jason nodded. "Some of it. I hear words in my head when you talk." The aliens looked at each other in surprise. "It has already adapted to our neural translator," one said. "No species has done that without training." Xorthul leaned closer to Jason. "What is your designation and purpose?" "My name is Jason Miller," he answered. "I'm a kid. I go to school. I like space and robots. I want to go home. Home. Earth." Xorthul said the word like it tasted bad. "Do you know why our records warn against your planet?" Jason shook his head. "Your kind is dangerous," Xorthul said. "Unpredictable. Your planet was marked as forbidden thousands of cycles ago." "We're not dangerous," Jason protested. "We haven't even been to Mars yet." This caused a stir among the aliens. "It thinks space travel is the danger," one of them said with what sounded like laughter in Jason's head. "If not technology, then what makes humans dangerous?" Velka asked. Before anyone could answer, an alarm sounded. A new alien rushed into the room. This one wore a different uniform with more decorations. "Chief Researcher," the new alien said, "High Command has received our report about the Earth specimen." "What are the orders?" Xorthul asked. "Terminate testing. Terminate specimen. Purge all data. The ship is to return to Zarth immediately." The room went silent. Jason didn't understand all the words, but he understood enough. They were going to kill him. "High Command fears what we might learn," Velka asked quietly. "High Command fears what might follow if we keep this specimen," the uniformed alien answered. "Earth has been forbidden for good reason." Xorthul nodded slowly. "Prepare the termination chamber. We will comply." As the aliens began to move around the room, Velka stood still, looking at Jason. In his head, Jason heard a voice that seemed to come only from Velka. "I will help you, Jason Miller of Earth. Your death serves no purpose of science." Jason was taken back to his cell. The straps had left red marks on his wrists. His fingers still hurt from where they had taken blood. But more than anything, he was scared. The aliens were going to kill him. He sat in a corner, hugging his knees to his chest. He thought about his parents. They must be looking everywhere for him. Would they ever know what happened to him? The lights in the corridor dimmed. It must be nighttime for the aliens again. Jason closed his eyes, trying not to cry. A soft sound made him look up. The wall of his cell was opening. Velka slipped inside and quickly closed the wall behind. "We must be quick, Earth Child," Velka said in Jason's mind. "The termination is scheduled for the next cycle." "You're helping me?" Jason asked, standing up. "Yes, what they plan is wrong. It goes against the purpose of science." Velka pulled out a small device. "This will block the security sensors. We have 10 units of time to reach the escape pods." "Why are you helping me?" Jason asked as Velka used the device on the cell wall. "I have studied your test results," Velka answered. "Your species is remarkable. Your brain can solve problems in ways ours cannot. And you adapt so quickly." Velka looked at Jason with those large eyes. "But more than that, killing a child is wrong." The wall slid open. Velka checked the corridor and waved for Jason to follow. They moved quietly through the dimly lit ship. "Where are we going?" Jason whispered. "To find allies." Velka answered. "I am not the only one who objects to High Command's order." They entered a small room where 3 other aliens waited. These aliens wore the same type of uniform as Velka. "This is the Earth Child?" one asked, looking down at Jason. "Yes," Velka said. "Jason Miller. He has shown remarkable intelligence. High Command fears what they do not understand." Another alien said. "It has always been this way." "We agree the termination order is wrong," the third alien said. "But how do we help him escape? The ship is returning to Zarth. There is nowhere to go." "I have a plan," Velka said. "But we need access to the communication system." "That will be difficult," the first alien said. "Security has been increased since the humans' capture." "What do you need to communicate?" Jason asked. The aliens looked at him in surprise. "I need to send a message," Velka explained. "To warn others that the High Command is making a mistake." Jason thought for a moment. "On Earth, we have satellites that can receive signals from space. If you can send a message toward Earth, maybe someone will hear it." The aliens looked at each other. "The human suggests contacting Earth directly," one said. "High Command would consider that an act of treason." "It is already treason to help the human," another pointed out. "And the Earth Child is right. If his people have technology that can receive our signals, they might help." "But what can Earth do?" the third alien asked. "They have no space travel, no way to reach us." Jason smiled for the first time since his capture. "Actually, that's not completely true. We have rocket ships. We've been to the moon. And..." He hesitated, not sure if he should share this. "My dad works for a secret government place. He never tells me what he does, but I once heard him talking about something called the Skyward Project. He said it was humanity's greatest secret." The aliens looked at Jason with new interest. "This changes things," Velka said. "If Earth has secret space capabilities..." An alarm suddenly blared through the ship. Red lights flashed in the corridor. "The human's absence has been discovered," one of the aliens said. "We must move now." Velka grabbed Jason's hand. "Come. We will try to reach the communication center." As they ran down the corridor, Jason heard a voice over the ship's speakers. "Attention all crew. This is Chief Researcher Thorthal. The Earth specimen has escaped with the help of traitors. All security personnel are ordered to find and capture them immediately." The specimen is to be unharmed. Repeat, the specimen must not be harmed. They've changed their minds about killing me, Jason asked as they ran. No, Velka said grimly. Something else has happened. Velka pulled Jason into a small room as alien guards ran past. The other scientist aliens had split up to create a diversion. Why do they want me alive now? Jason asked, trying to catch his breath. I do not know, Velka said, but we must reach the communication center quickly. They waited until the corridor was empty, then continued their journey through the ship. Jason was getting better at moving quietly and hiding when necessary. Here, Velka said finally, stopping at a large door. This is the communication center. The door was locked with a complex panel. Velka placed a hand on it, but nothing happened. My access has been revoked, Velka said. They know I helped you. Jason studied the panel. It looked similar to the one in his cell, but more complicated. Let me try, he said. Velka lifted him up so he could reach the panel. Jason carefully touched different parts of it, remembering what he had learned about the aliens' technology. After a few attempts, the panel glowed green, and the door slid open. How did you do that? Velka asked in amazement. I watched how you aliens use these things, Jason said with a small smile. And I'm good with puzzles. The communication center was empty. Multiple screens showed different parts of space. Velka quickly moved to the main control panel. We must hurry, Velka said, fingers moving rapidly over the controls. I will send a message to Earth with our location. As Velka worked, a screen on the wall suddenly lit up. Chief Researcher, Xor Thol's face appeared. Attention all crew, Xor Thol announced. High Command has updated their orders. The human specimen is to be brought to Zarth alive. Analysis of their DNA has revealed properties that could advance our medicine by centuries. The human's adaptive capabilities are unlike anything we have seen. Jason and Velka looked at each other. They think they can use you, Velka said. Study you forever. Jason shook his head. I just want to go home. Velka continued working on the message. Almost ready. I am setting it to broadcast on all frequencies. Earth's technology should be able to receive at least one. Suddenly, a different alarm sounded. This one was deeper, more urgent. What's that? Jason asked. Velka checked another screen and gasped. We are being pursued. A vessel has entered our space and is following us. It cannot be. What? Jason moved closer to see the screen. The vessel is from Earth, Velka said, voice filled with disbelief. The screen showed a sleek ship moving quickly through space. It was smaller than the alien vessel but moving much faster. Earth has such technology? Velka asked. This contradicts all our information. Jason smiled. I told you. My dad works on something secret. Before they could say more, the door to the communication center slid open. Chief Researcher Xor Thol stood there with 4 guard aliens. As I suspected, Xor Thol said. The traitor and the human would come here. Guards grabbed Velka and Jason. You have complicated matters greatly, Xor Thol told Velka. High Command now believes Earth may pose a threat. They have sent warships to intercept us. Warships, Velka repeated, for one human child. Not for the child. Xor Thol said, pointing to the screen showing the Earth vessel. For that, Earth was supposed to be primitive. They were not supposed to have space travel technology. Yet here they are, pursuing us. Xor Thol leaned down to look at Jason. What else don't we know about your kind, human child? What other secrets does Earth hide? Jason stood as tall as he could. We protect our own. That's what humans do. My people won't stop until they find me. A new alert sounded. A guard rushed into the room. Chief Researcher, the guard said urgently. The Earth vessel is hailing us. They demand the return of the human child. Xor Thol's large eyes blinked rapidly. Impossible. How could they know he is here? Velka smiled slightly. It seems I was able to send part of my message after all. On the screen, the Earth vessel grew closer. A voice came through the ship's speakers, clear and firm. Alien vessel, this is Commander Olivia Wright of Earth Defense. You have abducted a citizen of Earth. Return Jason Miller immediately, or face the consequences. The alien ship shook as something hit it. Not hard enough to cause damage, but enough to show Earth meant business. They dare to attack us. HFY, Full said in disbelief. Warning shot, Jason explained with a small smile. My dad says that's what you do before a real attack. Full looked at the screen where the Earth ship waited. It was much smaller than the Zarthian vessel, but somehow more threatening. We must respond, Full said to his crew. Open communication channel. A new screen lit up, showing a woman in a dark uniform. She had short brown hair and serious eyes. Commander Olivia Wright looked directly at Full. I am Chief Researcher Full of the Zarthian science vessel Celestial Harvester, Full said. Your aggression is unwarranted. You have taken a child from our planet, Commander Wright replied. Return him immediately. The specimen was collected for scientific study, Full argued. Our records did not properly identify Earth as a protected world. Jason is not a specimen, Commander Wright said firmly. He is a human child under Earth's protection. You have exactly 10 minutes to transfer him to our vessel. Jason tried to step forward, but the guards held him back. Commander Wright, he called out. I'm here. I'm okay. The commander's face softened slightly when she saw Jason. Hold on, Jason. We're getting you home. Full cut the communication. This is unprecedented. Earth should not have this level of technology. An alarm blared again. A guard rushed in. Chief Researcher, 3 Zarthian warships have arrived. The screen changed to show 3 large vessels appearing around them. They were twice the size of the science ship and covered with what looked like weapons. High Command is taking no chances. Full said. They will destroy the Earth vessel. No, Jason cried. You can't. Velka stepped forward despite the guards. Chief Researcher, this could start a war. If Earth has space technology, they may have other capabilities we don't know about. It is out of my hands. Full replied. High Command has made their decision. The ship shook again, harder this time. Warning lights flashed everywhere. What was that? Full demanded. Internal explosion in the engine room, a guard reported. Someone has sabotaged the engines. Full looked at Velka suspiciously. Not me, Velka said. My friends, perhaps. The ship began to drift, its power systems failing. The warships moved closer, surrounding them protectively. This is our chance, Velka whispered to Jason, while they are distracted. Before Jason could respond, a new voice came over the ship's communication system. Attention Zarthian vessels. This is Captain Alan Pierce of the Earth Ship Horizon. We are prepared to take more drastic measures if Jason Miller is not returned. Be advised that Earth has defense capabilities beyond what you currently observe. Full looked uncertain for the first time. They would risk war for one child. Yes, Jason said simply. That's what humans do. A new alert sounded. One of the screens changed to show an alien in an elaborate uniform. It was clearly someone important. Chief Researcher, the important alien said, I am Supreme Commander Ziv Kor. High Command has received troubling information. Our ancient archives have been fully translated. Earth was not marked as dangerous. It was marked as protected. Full looked shocked. Protected? By whom? That information is lost to time, Supreme Commander Ziv Kor replied. But the warning is clear. Earth and its inhabitants are not to be interfered with. They have potential. During this exchange, Jason felt a small device pressed into his hand. He looked down to see Velka had given him some kind of transmitter. Press this when you are alone, Velka whispered. It will signal the Earth ship. Full turned back to Jason and Velka. It seems a grave error has been made. The human child will be returned. I wish to accompany him, Velka said suddenly, to ensure his safe transfer and to serve as a liaison. It is my scientific duty. Torv. Foal considered this. Very well. You two will use Escape Pod 3 to transfer to the Earth vessel. I will inform High Command. As they were led away, Jason wondered what his parents would think when he returned home with an alien. Jason sat beside Velka in the small escape pod. Through the window, he could see the Earth ship getting closer. It looked sleek and powerful, nothing like the spaceships in his books. Are you scared? Jason asked Velka. Yes, the alien admitted. My people have avoided Earth for thousands of years. I will be the first Zarthian to visit your world. Don't worry, Jason said. You helped me. I'll make sure they help you too. The escape pod shook as it connected with the Earth ship. A light turned green, and the door slid open. Captain Alan Pierce stood waiting. He was tall with dark hair and a serious face. Behind him were 4 people in similar uniforms, all holding strange devices that might have been weapons. Jason Miller, Captain Pierce asked. Jason nodded and stepped forward. That's me. And this is Velka, my friend. The captain looked at the alien with surprise, but nodded respectfully. Welcome aboard the Horizon, Earth's first deep space vessel. First, Velka asked, but your technology seems advanced. Advanced, but new, Captain Pierce explained. We've been developing space travel in secret for decades. This ship is our prototype. They were led to a large room where Commander Olivia Wright waited. When she saw Jason, her serious expression softened. Your parents will be very happy to see you, she said. My parents? Jason asked, his heart beating faster. They know what happened. Not everything, Commander Wright said, but enough. Your father has been very helpful. A screen on the wall lit up, showing Jason's dad in a room full of computers. Dad, Jason called out. Jason. His father's eyes filled with tears. Are you okay, son? I'm fine, Dad, Jason said. I got kidnapped by aliens, but they didn't know I was from Earth. And now I'm on a spaceship. A human spaceship. His father laughed despite his tears. That's my boy. Always an adventure. He looked at someone off-screen. Lisa. He's safe. Jason's mother appeared, her face streaked with tears. Jason. Oh, my baby. Hi, Mom, Jason said, suddenly feeling like he might cry too. I'll be home soon. Very soon, Captain Pierce confirmed. We're setting course for Earth now. As the adults talked about the journey home, Jason turned to Velka, who stood quietly watching. Are you okay? Jason asked. I am processing much information, Velka said. Your Earth vessel. It uses technology similar to ours, yet different. And your people launched this ship just to find one child. Like I said, that's what humans do, Jason replied. We look out for each other. Commander Wright approached them. We've received a message from the Zarthian High Command. They wish to establish formal communication with Earth. It seems your adventure has started something big, Jason. What will happen to Velka? Jason asked. If your alien friend wishes to stay as a guest, we would welcome the cultural exchange, Commander Wright said. We have much to learn from each other. Velka's large eyes blinked rapidly. I would be honored. My research on human adaptability is only beginning. 3 days later, the Horizon landed at a secret facility in the desert. Jason ran down the ramp and into his parents' arms. They hugged him tightly, crying and laughing at the same time. Don't ever scare us like that again, his mother said, kissing his head over and over. I missed you guys so much, Jason said. His father looked past him at Velka, who stood nervously at the bottom of the ramp. And who's your friend? That's Velka, Jason said proudly. From Zarth. Can we take him home? I promised to show him my telescope. His parents looked at each other, then at the government officials nearby, who nodded. I guess we have room for one more, his father said with a smile. 1 week later, Jason sat in his backyard with Velka beside him. They looked up at the stars through Jason's telescope. "Your solar system looks different from down here," Velka said. "Do you miss your home?" Jason asked. "Sometimes," Velka admitted. "But I am the first Zarthian ambassador to Earth. That is an honor greater than any I could have imagined." Jason smiled. "And I'm the first human kidnapped by aliens who came back with one as a friend." In the distance, lights from government cars washed over the house. The world was changing. Earth had made its first alien contact, and it all started because aliens kidnapped a human child, not knowing he was from Earth.